Welcome to this edition of Talk with Taz Live. I hope that each of you are fine this Friday morning. I want to share something that I've been reading actually, and it may be a benefit to other individuals. I've been reading Standing Upright in an Upside Down World by Dennis Perkins. And I thought it was so relevant this morning because I've been speaking with several different people, spoke with one of my mentors, my mentees actually last night and earlier this morning. And different people have been sharing that they're just having troubles kind of navigating what's going on, be it their work responsibility, those who are actually back on the job physically, those who are still working remotely, they have the kids may be at home or the kids may be hybrid model at school and at home, those who are responsible for taking care of elderly parents or other loved ones, just trying to figure out how to navigate all of these different things. And then, of course, we can't forget we're in the middle of a pandemic. And so the theme that I kept hearing them share, even though they didn't realize what they were sharing, was this phenomena of standing upright in an upside down world. And that's what Dennis Perkins is written about, standing upright in an upside down world. So I have just a little few notes here that I wanted to share with you. The first thing that I want to share with you is that you have to understand that while you're upright, but the world is upside down, we have to examine the situation for miscommunications, misconceptions, or preconceived notions that influence our behavior and the behavior of others. We don't operate in a vacuum. We are the product of many influences from our sex, our age, our gender, ethnicity, our culture, from our education, our religion, our family, our friends, our hobbies, the groups that we belong to, the organizations that we belong to, our mentors. The list is endless. And of course, I didn't say the government, and I left off the media and then social media. So we're always being influenced by something, and that shapes our worldview. We also have to understand that our worldview, our worldly experiences, we really can't change them. But we have to understand how they shape who we are and our actions, as well as how they shape the individuals that we interface with on a day-to-day basis. And so for some people, at some point, we become so influenced by these factors, these external and internal factors, that we become desensitized to the plight of others. And when we become desensitized to the plight of others, we further victimize them or we traumatize them. So, I said to someone this week, just if you haven't lost your job, if everything has just remained perfect, your kids are at home, they're flourishing, you're doing well, your family's doing well, because we're all living in a pandemic, we're still being traumatized because our world as it existed at the end of 2019 is no longer. So we're being impacted, whether we are conscious of that impact or that influence, we're still being impacted. And it does govern how we behave because our behavior shift based on the things that influence us. So again, having that awareness really does make a difference in how we interface with ourselves. First of all, we have to give ourselves grace, and we have to acknowledge that sometimes we do wrong. And when we do wrong, we then have to apologize to others. I'm guilty of it. I just did it in the last 24 hours, or less than 24 hours. I apologized to someone publicly this morning because I can never be too informed about who I am as a person to sacrifice the essence of me. So when I do wrong, I apologize. I have no problems doing that. I was always taught that a leader can always apologize because you must set an example for other individuals. But again, because we are influenced by all of these factors and it shapes our worldview, we are the product of these worldly experiences. And it's often hard for us to shift to the unknown. I don't know if it's because we think we give up something to be more accepting or more understanding of others' differences, but you really don't. You actually demonstrate humanity. because God came down as his son and he walked this earth so that we could have an opportunity. Some people say have life and have it more abundantly, but so that we could have an opportunity. That's really what he was doing. He gave us an opportunity to have a better existence. So when we are afraid, because we're human, afraid to shift our position because we think we may lose a privilege, we do lose. We lose the opportunity for life, real life, life that will transcend this world, because we're only here for a short time period. And as people of faith, we are working towards something greater. So sometimes we will have to deny ourselves in this level, this plane, this earth. We have to deny ourselves because we're working towards something greater. Also, do we really profit when we marginalize other people in order to maintain the status quo? Some people will say to me, yes, I do profit. But do you profit for the long term? Do you profit for eternal life? Because we're living for eternal life. Those of us who are people of faith, we want eternal life because this life is going to pass away. So again, are your thinking upside down? Are your actions upside down? Thus you are creating a world where things appear to be right side up. So let me say it again, because I wrote this down because I want to make sure I say it correctly. Is our thinking and actions upside down? Thus we are driven to create a world that appears to be right side up. Something to think about. As I stated, I have been reading Dennis Perkins' Standing Upright in an Upside Down World. If you are dealing with something and trying to understand why things are the way they are, I recommend this book. When I received it, I started reading. And it is an easy read, but it is a powerful read. Now, let me tell you, now I want to go back to when I was in middle school, but you have to read and then you got to comprehend it. This is an easy read, but you're going to need to think about some of the concepts that he's talking about. And I feel that you will receive what you're looking for. When I picked up the book, I immediately started making connections, immediately. And even talking with the different people that I've been speaking with this week, I can see what they're dealing with. I can see how this book will help them to find solutions. Because understand, you can see it with the graphic, the world is upside down. We are in the world because of grace. That's the only reason we're still here. We don't own it. We're just allowed to live here for a short time period. So therefore, when you begin to understand that, you have to go to something deeper to understand how to live in a world that is upside down when you are trying to be upright, because it's not easy being upright. Upright meaning doing the right thing. The bracelets, what would Jesus do? Doing the right thing. That's not an easy thing to do when the world is upside down. So again, as I said, folks are experiencing a lot of different things for many different reasons. But if you want an easy read, one that might help you to understand how you can navigate some of the things that you're dealing with, I recommend that you pick up Dennis Perkins' Standing Upright in an Upside Down World, because I'm reading it and I'm seeing the connections to what I'm experiencing and what others are experiencing. This has been Talk with Taz Live. I thank you so much for dropping by this morning. And as always, make sure you take care of you. Bye now.